Good evening, I'm David Brown, and this is the Northern Sun Experience. Well, it's hard to call Game 3 of an 11-game season a must-win, but it sure felt that way for Minnesota Duluth this past Saturday. Now, the Bulldogs lost a heartbreaker on opening night at Minnesota State, squandering a 17-point first-half lead. UMD was well aware that a second loss would severely damage their postseason chances, especially since they were facing Sioux Falls, a team that missed the playoffs last year with just one loss. The 2-0 Cougars hosted the 1-1 Bulldogs in a heavyweight conference showdown, and it was defense that got things started. No score in the first when Drew Bauer's passes, picked off by USF's David Clark, returned 33 yards to the house. Pick 6 gives the Coup a 7-0 lead. From there, Sioux Falls offense would keep things churning. Max Mickey takes the option pitch, finds some space, and turns on the afterburners. 70 yards later, the Cougars have a 14-0 advantage. Second quarter now, the UMD offense finally gets on the board. Bo Bofferding takes the jet sweep and glides into the end zone from there. 13-yard score cuts the lead in half. But the Cougs strike back in a hurry. Luke Papillion on the read option eludes one tackler and dives for the pylon. 17-yard touchdown comes just 50 seconds later. It's 21-7 USF. No quit in the Bulldogs, though. On third down, Bauer airs it out to Dominic Bonner. 35-yard pitch and catch cuts the lead back down to 7. But once again, the Cougs strike back quickly. This time, it's Papillion with one of the best bootlegs you will ever see. Nothing but green in front of him. And the 56-yard touchdown run comes just 24 seconds later. 28-14 Cougars. The USF defense continued to make plays. Check out this ridiculous interception by Solomon St. Pierre. That would lead to a short Max Mickey touchdown, and the Cougs lead the Bulldogs 35-14 at the half. But in the second half, Minnesota Duluth would control the clock, going on several long drives. Logan Lauders caps off a 6-minute-plus drive with a touchdown to make it 35-21. After forcing a USF 3-and-out, Bulldogs go on a 5-minute drive this time, capped by this Drew Bauer keeper, and it's 35-28. Andrew Breeze makes a field goal to cut it to 35-31 in the middle of the fourth quarter. Bulldogs have a chance to take their first lead on 4th and goal, but Bauer's pass is tipped away by Cliff Redmond at the goal line with less than 4 minutes remaining. UMD has no timeouts left, so USF just needs to get a first down, and on 3rd and 5, Papillion actually throws a screen to Josh Angulo, and that would wrap it. Clutch plays on both sides of the ball, but in the end, it's the Cougs that prevail. You wouldn't expect anything less from two of the best teams in the conference. Sioux Falls tops Minnesota Duluth 35-31, and we heard from head coach Jed Stugart as he addressed his team on the field immediately following the victory.
Nobody got down on each other. You had opportunities to get frustrated with each other. Hey, defense, that's one of the best offenses that you're going to play. And they grind it and they pound it, and they traditionally are just a tough, and you guys kept battling. You battled it.
I am so proud of everybody on this team, on the defense, on the offense, all the coaches, all around. Nobody ever gave up. It was so much fun being out in this game. It was awesome. We were resilient. We responded to adversity. And I'm so proud of how we finished this game.
Honestly, this is the biggest win probably we've had in Division II so far, so we are ecstatic. We go 1-0 every week, and we're just going to keep on rolling from here.
Well, Minnesota State was hoping to keep pace with Sioux Falls as they hosted UMary on Saturday, and on its first possession, the Mavs hit it big. Ricky Lloyd to Ty Dennis, wide open, 55 yards, and it's 7-0 MSU. Second quarter, new quarterback, same result. Nick Piericini finds Jameer Jackson, who spins off a Marauder defender and takes it in for 6. 38 yards on the score, it's 20-zip. Third quarter, Maverick defense comes through. Off the tip, Patrick Schmidt picks it off and takes it the other way, 22 yards to the house, as Minnesota State takes care of business, shutting out UMary 48-0. Taking a quick peek at the national polls, we have the D2Football.com poll as the left number and the AFCA coaches poll as the right number. Both polls still have Minnesota State at number 1, but Sioux Falls moved up in both polls to number 5 and number 7 respectively. Meanwhile, Minnesota Duluth fell to 16th in the D2Football.com poll and all the way down to 25th in the coaches poll. Now, even though the D2 playoffs have expanded to include an extra 4 teams this year, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with the Bulldogs down the stretch. Well, when we come back on the Northern Sun Experience, more football highlights, including a matchup of undefeateds featuring Augustana and Minnesota State Moorhead.
The Northern Sun Experience on Midco Sports Network is presented by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and Dakota Land Honda.
And welcome back to the Northern Sun Experience. Well, the Dragons from MSU Moorhead are certainly flying high. After last week's dramatic win in the final seconds over Concordia St. Paul, MSUM is 2-0 for the first time since 2006, and they were looking to go 3-0 for the first time since 1987. They could top another undefeated foe in Augustana. Up 14-3 in the second and adding to it, Herman Carr gets in from 1 yard out to make it 21-3. Augie comes back with a short touchdown run of its own, this one from CJ Ham, to cut the lead to 21-10. Vikings actually take the lead 32-28 late in the fourth when the Dragons' hot fire comes out. Demetrius Carr up top to Adam Jiskra, 25-yard touchdown, and MSUM has the lead with 1:30 to go. And they would seal it on Augie's final drive with this interception from Michael Strand. The Dragons hold on for the 35-34 victory. Southwest Minnesota State hoping to move to 3-0 at St. Cloud State, and some short runs would help. This Devontae Freeman plunge makes it 14-0 Mustangs. It's now 21-7 when the Huskies try and mount a comeback. Jaden Huff gets in from 1 yard out to cut it to 21-14. Later in the fourth, it's quarterback Nate Meyer taking it himself on the read option for the Huskies, but the extra point was no good, and that's actually how it ends. SMSU hangs on for the 21-20 victory. They're 3-0 for the first time since 1991. Staying in Minnesota, Bemidji State played host to Winona State, tied at 3 in the third, but Alan May takes the Jack Nelson swing pass into the end zone to give the Warriors a 10-3 lead. It's 13-10 now in the fourth, and this may be the best catch you see all year. Jordan Hine, the Jordan Niskowiak, around the defender for the touchdown. Take another look in slow motion. It looks like that old Alabama catch from Tyrone Prothro back in 2005. Beavers take a 17-13 lead. Just a great play all around. Later in the fourth, the Warriors go back on top. Paul Preston, the 5'4 back, goes up the left side for the 10-yard score. 20-17 Winona State. Bemidji State looking to tie with under a minute to go, but the 38-yard field goal attempt is blocked, and despite an SB-worthy catch, the Beavers fall to the Warriors 20-17. Upper Iowa also hoping to go 3-0, facing Minnesota Crookston. Time winding down in the first quarter, Jordan Romas bursts through, blocks the punt, scoops it up, and scores easily. 14-0 Upper Iowa. 24-zip in the third, and Ryan Parmalee on his first collegiate carry gets a 6-yard touchdown to make it 31-0. But the star of the day for the Peacocks was special teams. Off another Minnesota Crookston punt, Tate Thompson gets some blocks, goes up the left side, and returns it 44 yards to the house. Upper Iowa over Minnesota Crookston, 45-3. Northern State hoping to avoid an 0-3 start at Wayne State. They're up 10-zip when Ryan Ludlow cuts into the lead with this touchdown. It's now 10-7 Northern. 13-7 when the Wildcats take the lead. Taylor Reedy up top, Jacob Yorth coming on down in the back right corner. 14-13 Wayne State. 27-20 late in the fourth, Northern hits it big. Kyle Levon to Cody Kraft, 56 yards down the middle. We're tied at 27. But just 30 seconds later, the Wildcats hit their own home run. Reedy to Marcel Dunson, 54 yards, 34-27 Wayne State, and that would be your final. 0-2 Concordia St. Paul at 0-2 Minot State. Someone's got to win, and it would be the Golden Bears, fueled by this 99-yard kickoff return from Alquan Vickers, a redshirt freshman taking it to the house as Concordia tops Minot State 28-13. Looking ahead to this upcoming Saturday, and once again, the big matchup is the nightcap of the evening. We'll start in the afternoon with Bemidji State at Concordia St. Paul at noon, and then a trio of 1 o'clock starts. Wayne State is at the University of Mary, Minnesota State travels to Minnesota Crookston, while Minot State is at Augustana. Starting at 2:30, Sioux Falls hopes to build off the momentum of its big win last week as they travel to Northern State for their homecoming known as Gypsy Days. Then at 6 o'clock, Upper Iowa travels to Minnesota Duluth, And the big matchup pits a pair of surprising 3-0 teams together. Minnesota State is at Southwest Minnesota State. This is the last week of interdivision play. Starting in October, NSIC North and South teams will only play within their own division. Well, when we come back, highlights from a jam-packed weekend of NSIC volleyball, including a top team going down on the road.
The Northern Sun Experience on Midcoast Sports Network is presented by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and Dakota Land Honda.
And welcome back to the Northern Sun Experience. Well, before the season, the NSIC had 4 of the top 6 nationally ranked volleyball teams. That included Minnesota Duluth, who began the year at number 4, but have slowly climbed the ranks. They were looking to continue their winning ways against Crookston. Ashley Hinch uses the left hand to help break a tie, and UMD would eventually take a 2-set lead. Third set, tied at 25, Mariah Scharf goes up for the cross-court kill to give UMD a chance at match point. And Crookston's volley on the ensuing point would go long. The Bulldogs topped the Golden Eagles 3-0. Augustana hosted Southwest Minnesota State, and the Vikings not afraid of the national runners-up. Ashley Wilson hammers it home for Augustana, and they would be tied at a set apiece. But the Mustangs would gain control in sets 3 and 4. First, it's Abby Teasen with the cross-court kill, and then it's Aisha Oden with the quick throwdown as SMSU tops Augie 3-1. Winona State hosted National Power Concordia St. Paul on Saturday, and the Warriors got out of the gate early. Maria Freutsch with the block at the net, but back come the Golden Bears. So much depth on this team. Mariah Sampson with the cross-court kill, but Winona State would be primed for an upset in this one. Taylor Gore goes up and hammers it home as Winona State shocks Concordia St. Paul with a 3-1 victory. Another huge battle on Saturday pit SMSU against Wayne State. First set, Abby Teasen throwing it down just like she did against Augie, and the Mustangs have an early lead. But Wayne State was up to being a road spoiler. Elizabeth Gebhardt with a kill down the line. Later, it's Lysa McClintock and Alex Opperman with a block at the net to help the Wildcats win set 2. And at match point, Alyssa Fraundorfer going up high and coming down hard. Wayne State tops SMSU 3-1. Well, as I mentioned earlier, the depth the NSIC had in the national poll at the beginning of the season was pretty extraordinary. But take a look right now. Minnesota Duluth is the clear number 1. They get 35 first-place votes. Southwest Minnesota State is 3rd, and Wayne State is up to 5th. Concordia St. Paul is 8th, Northern State is 19th, and Augustana and Winona State are tied for 22nd. 7 NSIC volleyball teams among the top 25 in all of Division II. Quite the accomplishment at this early stage of the season. Well, let's switch gears to soccer, checking in on the top 2 teams in the conference. First, it's Minnesota State hosting SMSU. 12th minute, Dana Savino gets it ahead to Kiana Nickel. Nifty moves for the bending goal. Mavs up 1-0. But the rest of the match would belong to Morgan Cadieu. Off the long shot from Savino, Cadieu is there for the easy rebound to make it 2-0. Then late in the second half, Abby Nordine gets it ahead to Cadieu again. She had 3 goals on the afternoon as the Mavs blanked the Mustangs 4-0. Down in Winona, the Warriors hosted Wayne State on Saturday. Just 3 minutes into the game, Abby Bahansky with a long pass out front, and Meg Rybow puts it home. Check it out again on the GoPro in the net, 1-0 Warriors. And it would stay that way until the 78th minute, when persistence pays off for Bohansky, who provides Winona with the cushion it needs in a 2-0 victory. Well, coming up next, we go under the Northern Sun at Minnesota State University in Mankato.
The Northern Sun Experience on Midcoast Sports Network is presented by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and Dakota Land Honda.
Welcome back to the Northern Sun Experience. Well, it's time to shine the spotlight on one of the NSIC schools with a feature we like to call Under the Northern Sun. Tonight, it's Minnesota State University in Mankato, where student-athletes showcase all that campus has to offer.
Hi, I'm Coley Reese, and I'm a member of the Minnesota State softball program. We are so excited to have you all along with myself and Alfonso Bruno, who is a Maverick wrestler, to show off our beautiful campus here in Mankato.
With over 15,000 students, Minnesota State is the largest school in the Minnesota State Colleges and State University system. We'd like to give you a little tour of some of the tremendous facilities here on campus.
Opened in 1962, Blakesley Stadium serves as home to the Maverick football program, and since 1966 has served as the summer training camp of the Minnesota Vikings. One of the unique features is the berm, located in the south end of the stadium. 7,000 seats, great sightlines, and the best natural grass surface in the upper Midwest.
Opened in the fall of 2000, Taylor Center is named after one of our most famous alums, Glenn Taylor. Our men's and women's basketball, wrestling, and women's volleyball programs call this beautiful 4,800-seat facility home. Taylor Center also houses our 7,326-foot state-of-the-art weight room. And when you graduate from MSU, Taylor Center is where you receive your diploma.
Memorial Library resources consist of approximately 1.3 million volumes, over 68,000 periodicals, and over 350 electronic databases. Opened in 1967, an addition was added in 1992, which include a tile art display entitled 44th Parallel.
Opened in the fall of 2001, Meyer Fieldhouse features an 8-lane NCAA sanctioned track with space for 1,000 spectators. MSU hosted the 2008 and 2012 NCAA Division II Indoor Track and Field Championships here. Unique features include the 100-yard-long mural depicting the history of our track and field programs.
Opened in 2008, Julius Sears Residence Hall houses 600 students on 4 floors. All rooms, kitchens, and lounges feature central air conditioning and have cable and both wired and wireless internet. In the late summer, this is the home to the Minnesota Vikings at training camp.
One of the newer buildings on campus is the 67,000 square foot Ford Hall, opened in 2008 and serves as the home of the Chemistry and Geology Department in the College of Science, Engineering, and Technology.
Opened in 1995, Verizon Wireless Center serves as the home to Minnesota State men's and women's hockey programs. With seating for nearly 5,000 spectators, the building is currently undergoing renovations to Maverick locker rooms, athletic training and equipment rooms, and coaches' offices.
Thank you all for joining us today. If you want more information about the wonderful things that are happening on campus, please be sure to check out our website located at msumavericks.com.
Go Mavericks!
Coming up next, it's DB's Picks, the top 5 plays of the past week in the NSIC, and this edition is pure pigskin.
The Northern Sun Experience on Midcoast Sports Network is presented by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and Dakota Land Honda.
And welcome back to the Northern Sun Experience. Well, another fantastic week of top plays in the NSIC, and once again, it's hard to limit them to just 5, but here are DB's picks for the week. At number 5, we head to Minot, where Alquan is Al gone. Concordia St. Paul's Alquan Vickers takes the kickoff at his own 1 and doesn't stop, taking it 99 yards to the house for a touchdown as he finds some room off the right side. Here's another look. Vickers has nothing but open lanes thanks to some great blocks by his Concordia teammates. The Golden Bears notch their first win of the season over Minot State, and Vickers notches the first top play of my top 5. For number 4, we head to Sioux Falls, where the Book of Solomon has another new chapter on interceptions. Solomon St. Pierre with the ridiculous pick on Minnesota Duluth's Drew Bauer late in the first half. St. Pierre led the NSIC with 10 interceptions last season, and he's already got 2 this year, including this spectacular leap. That pick set up USF's last touchdown of the first half, and as it turned out, their last touchdown of the game. It would prove vital in a 35-31 victory over the Bulldogs. And while no one knew how critical the interception was at the time, it's pretty safe to say we all know how fantastic it is. And that's why Solomon St. Pierre checks in at number 4. For number 3, we go to Upper Iowa, where Jordan Romas does it all on special teams, the block, the scoop, and the score for the touchdown off the Minnesota Crookston punt. Here it is again. Romas comes in off the right side and executes the play to perfection. The Peacocks also had a different punt return for a touchdown later in the game against the Golden Eagles, as special teams played a huge role in the 45-3 victory. The Peacocks are 3-0 for the second straight season, as Jordan Romas' big play comes in at number 3. For number 2, we head back to Sioux Falls, where Luke Papillion executes the best bootleg you'll ever see, fooling the entire Minnesota Duluth defense and practically waltzing up the left side for a 56-yard touchdown. Take a look at a different angle, you can see there's nothing but open space in front of him, and he takes full advantage. Also give credit to receiver Garrett Shutt holding his block on the left side for Papillion's final spring. The junior quarterback had 125 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns, while also throwing for 218 yards. The Cougars get a huge win over the Bulldogs in just their second all-time meeting, as Papillion's boot finishes at number 2. But our number 1 play comes from Bemidji State, where Jordan Oskowiak leaps around his defender to grab the ball for 6. One of the most ridiculous catches you will ever see as Jordan Hine throws the fade and Oskowiak adjusts as best he can to make the play. It looks similar to that Alabama catch from 10 years ago, but even a decade later, this one has all the best qualities. Oskowiak's catch comes in at number 1. Once again, a thank you to all of our member schools. We'll be back next week with another Northern Sun Experience.